YouTube, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel, The Masculine Legacy. And in this video, guys, we're gonna be talking about that how these feminist hoes are living into their own bubble of reality and how they are ultimately delusional, right? And how their delusional ideology is wrecking young females and how it is turning females into hoes and how it is disrupting the entire family structure in our society. And I'm going to be reacting to a video of Myron. He's from Fresh and Fit, and I know that you know him for sure if you watch Red Pill and all these kind of content. I like this guy and I like their podcast because they bring on facts and they smash facts on the face of ladies, right? And which are like these hoes deserve to be treated like this. And Myron and Fresh and Fit podcast is doing God's work, guys. If you haven't checked them yet, then please go and check them. Fresh and Fit. And today I'm reacting to a clip of Myron debating a feminist. So let's start, guys. It's gonna be fun, and I'm gonna be passing on my commentary and some jewels of knowledge from my own experience and from my own life and how I view life and how I think about all these facts. So I'm gonna be also passing on those into this video. So without any further delay, let's jump into the video. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Let's start.
This isn't even like disputable. Men work more than women do and work harder than women do in every metric of labor.
I wasn't talking about who works harder, who does more. I was just.
But that's important because that directly dictates how much you get paid.
Yep.
Which is the whole argument for the wage gap.
I think, yeah, as I predicted, the first and the foremost attack, you will always talk with some educated and so kind intellectual feminist, right? They bring out, like, it is inevitable, they will bring on this topic that, oh, but you know what, ladies are paid less and men are paid more. And I'm always like, because you get less things done than men work harder than women, right? Men go through a lot of trauma, men go through a lot of pain, right? And that's why, because as Bill Burr, the famous comedian, jokes that I get paid more because when the Titanic sinks, or when any kind of survival situation is there, I don't know why I have to stand there and why women and children are permitted to escape, right? I have to be there, I have to be the protector, I have to be the provider. And due to this fact, check out all these jobs like firefighter and policeman and soldiers and all these kind of hard jobs, right? All those jobs which you cannot do in an air conditioned environment from your office, or some blue collar, white collar jobs, right? They are majorly, like, let's say for construction job, they are majorly dominated by men because men are the backbone of society. And that's why this whole wage gap argument, which you will hear from feminists here and there, they will talk about wage gap, and they will keep shaming men that men are not giving ladies their rights. We are actually paying ladies more than they deserve because they don't give their 100%. But on the other hand, men are risking their lives. They're working into the coal mines, they're working into onto the electric lines, they're working into the sewer lines, they're risking their lives, guys. And that's why men are giving their life, they're putting into their life on stake to provide for their family, and that's why men get paid more. And this whole wage gap argument is just utter bullcrap. It's nonsense, guys.
Well, I wasn't saying like how much you get paid necessarily. I was saying, like, typically, like the studies say, a woman makes 75 cents for every dollar a man makes. That's the point that I was trying to get at. Not who works more, not who puts in more effort.
I've very well read that study. I'm telling you, it's incorrect. They say women earn 75 cents on every dollar a man makes. That's not true. Because again, they don't account for. Okay, let me ask you a question, so I can get your basic knowledge. Do you know where that study comes from?
I don't know. It was so long ago.
Like, see, guys, this is the way ladies behave in a debate. I'm just 47 seconds into this debate, and this woman does not even know that from where this study is coming. She does not even know the source of this study, right? And she's debating, she's talking about how wage gap is there and how men are not paying female their rights and this and that. This is the way these guys are, these women, these hoes are trying to blame men, right? Where they don't even know the basic knowledge.
It was in college. I remember.
That's the problem. That study is aggregated from all working men versus all working women. It does not account for career, education, length of time worked, experience, or any other professional accolades. It only takes full-time working men versus full-time working women. That's why the women get paid less, because it's all working people. But when you actually account for the variables that matter, education, experience, etc., the wage gap evaporates, which is what I was describing before. And there's a multitude of reasons why men get paid more. So that study that you're talking about is built upon faulty data. You cannot compare all working men to all working women.
It's correct.
Because you're not.
It's correct because what Myron is saying, what Myron is explaining is that you take 100 working men, you take 100 full-time working women, and you are just equating that how much they get paid, let's say per hour or per dollar, or how you are just comparing. It's like comparing all those men who are working at a, let's say, computer engineer, or let's say at construction jobs, or let's say company owners, entrepreneurs, CEO, and they are averaging, they are taking an average of all these men, and they are comparing this average, this data, from on the other hand where all women are working, right? And that's why there is discrepancy. That's why there is a wage gap. That's why there is a discontinuity into the outcome, that ladies are making just 75 or 70 cents, whatever this host said, that they are not equal, men and women are not equal. But this is not the fact, because as Myron is saying that they are not taking the whole parameters, they are not taking the professional accolades, they are not taking how much a woman is educated, they are not taking what kind of jobs they are taking into accountability, or what kind of jobs they are including into their study data. They are not doing it anything. The study is basically faulty. The study is, which all these feminists quote, this is garbage, guys. This is a lie. Don't fall into the trap of these guys, because I also used to think like that when I was a teenage guy, when I was imprinted by the feminist psychology, when I was not a red pill man. I also started having sympathy for these hoes. I also started having sympathy for these women, because I thought that men are doing injustice to them, men are not giving their rights, right? But as I grow up older, as I grew up, as I started studying red pill more, as I started studying the facts more, then I came to know that this whole lie that there is a wage gap, this whole lie that women are suffering, this whole lie that women are oppressed by men and women are not paid for what they work, is a complete bullshit, guys.
Accounting for critical factors that influence how much they get paid. Make sense?
My question is, why are we both spewing statistics, and I'm not citing my sources and you're not citing your sources, but your sources are right and mine are wrong?
Damn. Because the wage gap has been debunked since the 1970s as being, because I literally took, okay, let's use the,
like, I don't hear any of your sources. You're talking about studies, experiments, whatever, but I'm not hearing any authors. I'm not hearing what year, what
that literally has all the studies here from the Department of Labor, a government website from the United States that accounts for labor from the two genders, and I just quite literally read it for you earlier, the top 10 jobs that men work versus the top 10 jobs that women work. That is indisputable. And then also, again, I'm telling you where your study stems from. It comes from all working men, from all working women. The only reason I'm able to rebut and refute your argument is because I know what your argument is. And I have all my studies here. I have a whole link tree on this.
Go here about the wage gap.
The wage gap has been debunked since the 1970s.
Okay,
it's just common sense.
Myron has destroyed this girl. Myron has destroyed her lame ass argument, and Myron is actually putting this hoe into her place. Like, see, guys, he's giving all the links, he's giving all the data, and still these women, I don't know, guys, what they want.
But it's not necessarily common sense, because common sense isn't that common. But
I can see that. Yeah. Because if it were, if you could actually hire women for less, no one would employ men.
It's about profit and businesses.
If If I was a business owner, I would never hire men if I could actually get away with paying them 80 cents on the dollar.
Hella profit.
Yep.
I have a question.
No more questions.
The wage gap does not exist. It's been debunked a million times. Women get paid less because they deserve less. That is why. That is the truth. They don't work as hard and they don't work jobs that create infrastructure, which are the higher paying jobs.
And you're allowed to think that.
It's not that I think, this is a fact.
It's a fact.
Yeah, like it's just
From the government?
he's one guy, but it's a fact.
I'll look into your sources and
Yeah, it's
I'll consider whether it's
consider.
fact or
They
fiction.
rewrite history so many
Yeah, I'll
times.
consider it because I'm
Believe
not gonna believe everything that somebody just tells me.
No,
I'm like,
no.
I haven't read this book. I haven't read any sources.
As you should.
I'm like,
Okay.
that's just how.
Bitch, this guy has worked into federal jobs, and I didn't want to say that B word, but I have to say it, guys, because these girls, these hoes, they don't have even an ounce of brain. They don't even use their 1% of brain. They talk just about brainless arguments, just keep on reciting same facts, same shit, saying it again and again. They don't make any kind of sense, guys. See this girl, see this bitch talking about all this crap on this platform, all this show, because somehow, I don't know from where this stems from. These ladies have zero brains, guys. Like literally, Myron is giving her all the proofs, but still she's not admitting it. Still she's thinking that Myron is stating and quoting all these facts from the top of his head, while Myron is saying that he's taking all these facts from books and from government data, guys. But I don't know that what these bitches want, guys.
How I am.
I'm going to read a part of it for real quick. Women were, on average, only net economic contributors for 15 years of their lives compared to 30 years for men. So they required men and generally independent women to pick up the slack through direct income transfers or added taxation. As a result, the total of women's net economic contribution was tallied at equaled negative $140,000. And that was in New Zealand, another first world country just like the United States, because the study would never work in the United States. Okay? So basically, okay, men give way more economic value than women do. Women are net negative. Because what I told you before, they go into career fields that don't generate revenue to the same degree. They're social science type stuff, and they don't create infrastructure. And they're not laborious or risk taking.
They're not laborious.
Yeah.
Yes, as in difficult to do physically. Women don't go into physical manual labor jobs.
Labor.
Can't you say
Correct.
the same about men in jobs where you need to have like some sort of emotional intelligence? Wouldn't it be harder for them and it's easier for women?
Emotions.
But unfortunately, those aren't the jobs that pay as much.
Correct.
They might not pay as much, but there's still a demand in society.
She's talking about all these crap jobs, all these jobs like being a nurse or being a caretaker or being a nanny for somebody's kids. Look, guys, I admit that these jobs are important. I admit that these jobs are also important in a society, but the facts are these jobs are not paying well. These jobs are not the jobs who are generating arguments, who are generating the revenue for society, the revenue for our government, the revenue for our country, the revenue for our nation, guys. Because apply your logic for a second. Who's gonna make more revenue? Who's more important? A caretaker and nanny at the house of somebody, or let's say a construction worker, or let's say an entrepreneur or a business owner of a 6-figure or a multi 7-8 figure kind of company, or let's say a very highly paid data engineer or a very highly paid data scientist or a marketing consultant who is consulting multi-million billion dollar companies versus a caretaker or versus a nurse or versus somebody in some kind of profession where quote unquote emotional intelligence is required. I admit that these, as I said, that these jobs are also important, but they does not, unfortunately, they don't pay as well as these important jobs pay. And majority of men are working these jobs where more economic generation, more money is generated, and that's why they are paid more, right?
Nonetheless.
Well, you
They're
and every
needed.
other girl wants that job. Versus no one wants to be an Alaskan fisherman or an offshore driller.
You
Deep
think
sea.
everybody wants to be a social worker?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a lot of paperwork
It's
involved.
overwhelmingly
you can't be
female.
serious.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
overwhelmingly female.
You made the choice.
It might be overwhelmingly female, but it's not necessarily like
Let me skip the ad, guys.
easier or the best thing in the world either. You
Hold
deal with
on.
a lot of tough shit.
Did someone put a gun to your head and say you got to be a social worker? Or do you say, you know what? I want to do this.
You go in to
You made a
help
choice.
people.
Well, yeah, I made a choice. I didn't know exactly what went into social work. I didn't go to college
Okay.
to study social work.
Well, you can
I
leave
did-
now.
Huh?
You can leave if you want to, right? It's a choice.
I mean, yeah, I could.
The
But I
point
have
I'm
to look
trying
into other
make-
jobs for that.
Okay, you're missing the biggest point here.
Okay.
Women aren't
What is
lining
it?
up to do hard jobs. Period. That's a fact.
Not a lot of women, you mean, right?
Not a lot of women. Not no women.
Because my friend is a plumber. She got her own team and she running it in Philly.
And my friend
Okay.
fixes
she puts
planes.
together new modern day age plumbing.
Fantastic, but she
That's
is
one
what?
person, right?
An exception to the rule.
Yeah, but let's not exclude her.
So that's one woman that you know.
But that's not
Correct.
exclude.
No. But look at all your friends that are women. That's only one.
And it's statistically insignificant.
I have a woman.
My family
I
are
mean, a
police
woman.
officers, and don't even talk trash on the comments because we're red. But bottom line, my family
What?
police officers.
What
I
did
got
you say?
female,
What?
I got a female cousin. She's a police officer in New York. I got 2 family members that have been in the Philadelphia police district over 20 plus years.
That's fantastic.
You know what I'm saying? And they doing heavy duty shit.
That's great, but once again, we make an objective statement, and what do? Attribute it right back to yourself. I know this, I know that. That's cool, but the majority are still overwhelmingly men.
Once again, take yourself out of it. Okay, generally
Okay.
It's
speaking,
incredible.
what's happening in the world?
So
We're
anyway, you
talking
were saying?
about exception, guys.
Next question.
What,
At this point, like we derailed so much, I don't even know what I was saying. Like, what was I responding to exactly?
See, that proves my point that you're arguing to argue. I did that as a test.
I'm not arguing to argue.
Yeah, you are.
I
Because
just,
you
like,
just don't
don't-
want to be wrong.
hold
The
on.
wage gap
What do you mean that?
is a myth. The wage gap is a myth. It does not exist. Women get paid less because of their choices, not because they're inherently women.
Just hold it.
Okay, sure.
I'll give it to you.
You do realize that you don't even know where your
Shout out to
argument
Fresh
stems
and
from.
Fit.
You didn't even know that study, women get 80
Look at
cents
her
on the
face,
dollar,
guys. Look at the
is
face.
from a
How,
faulty
how she's acting, she's behaving. Look at her face, guys.
background. You didn't even know that.
Because why would I be taught faulty information for a degree that I paid for?
Because
Do you think they're gonna teach me fake stuff like in college and that kind of stuff?
Yes.
yes, How's-
That's what the government does, bitch. That's what the government. That's what the infrastructure. That's what we call as matrix. That's a lie. That's a lie system wants to keep you in. All these gender studies, all these feminism, all this that, all this social justice warrior, SJW kind of things, all this binary, non-binary. This all shit is stemming from the elite agendas which are being now taught into our schools, which are now taught into our colleges, right? And this is being done on a purpose to keep you numb to the reality.
it's one of the
what
biggest
I'm looking up
indoctrination
online
camps.
is fake too.
Listen, I have a
That's
college degree
fake
myself.
Statistics.
I was in the professional world. I was a special agent before this with the government. Okay, I'm a college educated guy as well. But I'm sitting here letting you know that college did not teach me a lot of the things that I know now that made me a multimillionaire. I learned everything after I left college and the workforce.
And how did you
They
learn?
don't teach you how to invest. They don't teach you about how taxes really work. They don't teach you how to save a bunch of money by buying real estate. They don't teach you how to properly invest. They tell you to put a bunch of money into a 401k, which doesn't pay you back, and then hope to retire on $200,000 a year.
What a scam.
Sorry, $200,000
Big
for
scam.
forever on a fixed interest rate. Colleges perpetually underprepare people for real life.
Correct.
Bars.
Rockefeller said it himself. He wanted a world full of workers, not thinkers.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Like
College
we're
teaches
being
you.
trained to be exploited.
Okay,
1,000%.
so why would you
Trained to
believe
be
college
slaves.
indoctrination over I'm telling you how the world really works? See, college sets up women to feel like victims, but the reality is y'all aren't victims. You just make poor decisions when it comes to career choice and education.
Yep.
And then you get paid less, deservedly so, because you guys go into dumb career fields. No offense, but if you look at all the majors that are useless, dominated by women. Women's studies, psychology, unless you have a PhD, it's useless degree. Political science, useless majors. They're not going to get you a job. Why not accounting? Why not
But they're not gonna get you a job. Are you serious?
with a bachelor's degree? No.
I
You get-
literally have a job with 2 of those majors.
okay, you got one, but do most people go ahead and get a job with those majors in their career field? Overwhelmingly, no.
It's
What do
sad,
you-
but
You have to get higher
At her
education a lot of
face,
times. You
guys.
don't want to major in psychology. You need to become a
Yeah, to
psychiatrist,
make-
get a PhD.
Yeah, to make more money, but it's not necessarily impossible. You could be a clinical coordinator. You could be a case manager like me. Like you can do all that kind of stuff with just a bachelor's. So I'm
That's
not
cool.
sure what you're trying to
That's cool,
say
but
with
most
that.
people can't get a job with just a
Yeah.
bachelor's. They have to go into higher education to be able to secure a job in that career field when it comes to the social sciences.
That's true, but don't tell me that it's useless either, is what I'm saying.
In general, it's useless. Just because you are successful at it doesn't mean that other people are going to be successful at it.
That's the problem with these ladies, guys. They always talk about their reality. They always talk about their experiences. Oh, I know that friend. Oh, I know that that guy. Oh, I know that girl. Oh, I know that family member or that cousin or that relative. Or this has worked for myself and this and that. They think that if something is working for them, that it will work for the majority reality outside, guys. This is the problem. They always take their own cases and then they try to generalize and then they try to make rules from their own cases, where in realities we always talk about a general consensus of people. We always talk about the majority of the population, guys.
A criminal justice degree. I am happy to say it's a useless degree. But it was a means to an end for me to get the job that I wanted. But I can't sit here and say, well, it wasn't. You can't tell me it's useless because it worked for me. That's a ridiculous and narcissistic point of view.
It works for a lot of people.
How do you know?
Incredible.
My coworkers all did the same thing as me. They all studied the same thing as me. They all make the same much as me.
Oh, so they all made dumb choices?
Huh?
Stand your ground, baby. Stand your ground.
You just said
What do you
that.
mean?
You just said it right.
Mhm.
You do social work.
Yes.
I think that's great. Once again, does it pay a lot? No. But that was your choice, right?
But you're gonna tell me that it's useless too?
No, I'm just
Y'all called it a useless job. I'm saying like how
what
is
he's
it useless?
saying is it doesn't pay a lot.
yeah. You made a choice to go down that field.
And when it comes to overall society, it's not as important. It doesn't create
Yeah,
infrastructure.
it's not as important.
And create this. It's not as vital as the other professions that we discussed.
It's
Sure.
respectable. I think is a great thing you're doing. But like, if you're looking at money standpoint or for what's vital to like the society, it's okay, but it's not like mandatory.
And you also got to
It's
keep in mind,
definitely-
there's a million sociology and psychology majors that are women that want to get into that career field. So therefore, it lowers the cost of labor because there's more applicants in the pool. Versus if you want to be an engineer, you want to be a rocket scientist, whatever. Not many people can do that or have the patience to go to school for that long. Therefore, they're paid more. Okay, so what feminism has done is it's cut wages because now you have double the workforce, so I can pay them less.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, do you not?
Okay, sure.
Lost souls.
Either way, I mean,
Faith.
you're just wrong. I'm sorry. I just got to say it. Sometimes we got to tell people they're wrong. You're just wrong. There is no wage gap. It's a myth. I just debunked it systematically.
Wrong.
You don't even know where your argument came from. That it comes from all working men versus all working women was disingenuous way to look at it.
Wrong.
And women
Because the
earn less
different-
because they deserve less.
Because the difference between you and me is that you came today prepared with all these facts and stuff. I just came today invited to a podcast. I hardly knew what the topic was even about.
Same here.
I'm just speaking about like what I know, my experience, my education. I'm not even just speaking from experience because y'all don't want to hear about experiences here. Y'all want to hear about
The
personal
key
opinions.
is to speak
I'm talking
about
what I've
things.
learned.
The key is to, here's the thing. If you don't know about something or there's someone else that knows more than you, you're better off being quiet and learning versus trying to make an argument on a moot point that doesn't exist or is incorrect.
Why did
correct.
you invite me on
I'ma
the
call you out.
podcast
No,
and
no.
give me a microphone?
I'm
then?
gonna call you out because you said earlier before the show you came prepared. Do you not hear that on the show? You said it yourself. You came prepared because of your career. I heard it earlier.
Okay.
And you failed.
Ooh.
I failed terribly.
Yeah, because you were not
I
prepared
feel
at all.
like this panel would beg to differ.
Bro, I'm prepared for this. My career, da da da. He has a good career. You don't
I
worry
wasn't
about
even
this show.
hyping it up that much. I was saying that like I know stuff about
And-
the subject, but I'm not saying like
Ignorance
this-
isn't an excuse. If I decide to sell drugs and then I get caught by the police and say, "Yo, bro, I didn't know cocaine was illegal. My bad." They're gonna look at me like stupid. I'm gonna do 20 years in jail. Ignorance is never an excuse. If you don't know, then just don't say
Yeah,
anything.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's
We
cool.
get it.
It's fun.
But to make an argument in bad faith, knowing that you're wrong, right, and then even in the face of statistics and facts, that your own argument comes from a faulty detail. I mean, bruh, like, it is what it is.
It's that you want me to pull out statistics that are down like to a T, as if like you want me to whip them out, you want me to pull out the authors, you want me to pull out everything. I'm not gonna do that for you because I'm not writing a paper. I'm in a podcast and I'm just telling you what I know.
So you're just
I
talking to
don't-
talk then.
Yeah.
Why did you
You're not
invite me
able
here?
to actually back up your arguments.
So this is the video, guys, and from this point I have came to this realization that these modern women are just, I'm giving up hope onto them, guys. It's a time waste to invest your time into these modern women. Just save yourself, guys, and just enjoy, just live your life happily. And I used to be a guy who who used to be in favor of marrying a woman someday, but the more I see these kind of podcasts, the more I get to know women myself. I'm dropping that. Hope I'm dropping that argument too. And I don't think that in coming years there will be a single advantage to get married to a chick, to get married to a woman, and then lose the child, and then pay the alimony, and then pay the maintenance, and all this kind of crap, because these girls has no brains, right? They have no brains left. They are just egotistical beings. They're just talking about, they're just justifying their egos. They're valueless. They're sleeping with a lot of women, and then a lot of men. They are ramping up their body counts, and now they want that men should value them, and it's just kind of very complex. I'm just literally having a headache by watching this video, guys, because these ladies, man, may God save them, guys. I have no hope left for modern women, guys. I have no hope left for them. So that's it for this video, guys, and I hope that you got some kind of value from it. And drop your comments in the comment section and tell me some other videos if you want me to react to them, and pass on my own commentary to them. And like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, press the notification bell icon. Till that, keep grinding, keep hustling, keep smiling. God bless you all. Love you guys.